backing away so purposefully from all of these PR disasters and actually not saying to her husband, this isn't working. You know,
privacy invaded, which to us now doesn't seem that shocking because we've seen them invading their own privacy for years now. But the idea that we're a different planet to all of us, her agenda is by now so obscure we can't even say, except that she's got a puppet, and the puppet is Harry. And Harry is just, I think...
They called her a duchess, but Tom Bower's explosive revelations? Oh, they shatter the polished fairy tale Meghan Markle has been selling for years. Forget the glitz, forget the glamour. Bower has dug into the shadows, and what he's found is messier than Meghan's bitter feud with the royals. Ugly doesn't even begin to describe it. This isn't just another headline, it's a bombshell tearing at the very foundation of Meghan's carefully built image.
It's fascinating because, coincidentally, I heard the reason why he called them the grifters, and that is because...
And here's the kicker. This is devastating news for Meghan, because her entire identity, it's been wrapped around one sparkling narrative. The underdog actress who defied the odds, broke barriers, and magically charmed her way into the world's most famous family. For years, she's pushed that story, and yes, people bought it, millions did. But now, with Tom Bower lifting the curtain, that fairy tale is crumbling, and Meghan's worst nightmare is stepping into the spotlight.
wants Harry to be weak, you see.
But it's not that she wants him to be weak, she probably no longer sees his purpose.
If there's one rumor Meghan Markle has desperately wished would vanish forever, it's the yacht girl chatter. You've heard it, I've heard it, everyone has. It's that stubborn shadow that's haunted her for over a decade. Every time she swats it away, it just comes back louder, nastier. Meghan branded it sexist. She's screamed that it's defamatory. She's rolled her eyes and called it pure fiction. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Rumors that last more than 10 years, they don't cling without a reason.
Particular story which is extraordinary, which is that Harry and Meghan were invited to this sun-kissed place by the beach.
And Tom Bower? Oh, he doesn't tiptoe around it. He dives right in. His digging paints Meghan's rise as something very different from the sob story she's been pushing. According to Bower, Meghan didn't just claw her way up through auditions and rejections. No, she worked her way into exclusive circles, rubbing shoulders at yacht parties where doors opened. Not because of talent, but because of the powerful men standing behind them. This isn't harmless gossip. It's a narrative that could flip Meghan's whole self-made image upside down.
He's given her fame. What is the next step? And the terrible tragedy which is now unfolding is she dumped her father, she dumped her first husband, she dumped the boyfriend in Canada, she dumps people who aren't...
Now let's be fair, ambition isn't a crime. Chasing success, everyone does it. But here's the real sting, the contradictions. Meghan has spent years painting herself as the underdog, the scrappy actress who built everything on grit and talent. But if Bower's account even carries a shred of truth, that fairy tale, it collapses. Suddenly, Meghan's whole against the odds story looks like smoke and mirrors.
Had arrived with the host's private jet, as usual, and wanted to leave, and then they heard that someone else who was there.
And here's the part that really makes the palace staff chuckle behind closed doors. For years, they've whispered about Meghan's too-perfect rise, how doors seemed to fling open with suspicious ease, how opportunities fell into her lap like clockwork. They used to gossip in corners. But now, with Bower putting it in black and white, those whispers suddenly sound a whole lot like evidence.
Up to her and said, is there any, let us talk, let us become friends. The following day after they were taken back home on their private...
But wait, Bower doesn't stop there. He sharpens the knife even more by pointing at Meghan's obsession. Yes, obsession with Princess Diana. And make no mistake, obsession is not an exaggeration. According to him, Meghan didn't just admire Diana, she studied her, like an actress studying for a role. Every pose, every outfit, every camera angle. Meghan allegedly mimicked them all. Her goal? To recreate the magic Diana naturally carried.
The woman and said, is there a chance that we could borrow your house? Meghan wonders whether we could have it. And the woman...
At first, maybe it worked. People saw similarities. They thought Meghan was honoring Diana's legacy. But as time passed, the shine wore off. What once looked like a tribute began to feel like a cheap copy. Diana's vulnerability was raw, heartbreaking, human. Meghan's version, it felt rehearsed, like someone performing sadness instead of living it.
Okay. The following day, Harry calls and says, Meghan also says, can we get there in your private jet?
Just look at the Oprah interview. That was Meghan's golden chance. Her big Diana moment. The sit-down where the world was supposed to see her pain. But within days, fact-checkers were tearing it to pieces. Contradictions, half-truths, vague answers. It all backfired. Instead of sympathy, Meghan was met with raised eyebrows and rolled eyes.
What the grift is all about is about scrounging. It's about Harry and Meghan constantly looking for freebies. Whether it's...
And Tom Bauer, blunt as ever, doesn't sugarcoat it. Authenticity. You can't fake it. Diana didn't try to be vulnerable, she was vulnerable. Meghan, on the other hand, looks like she's auditioning for Diana 2.0. And the public, they're not lining up for tickets to that performance.
Because presumably Spotify were paying a lot of money for all of their stuff, for all of their demands, but they weren't actually receiving the content in return.
And here's the cruel twist of it all. The more Meghan leans into that Diana comparison, the worse it gets. Every attempt makes her look less authentic, more calculated. Instead of reaching for tissues, people are rolling their eyes. Instead of feeling sympathy, they're sighing in exhaustion. The comparisons haven't elevated Meghan, they've damaged her.
Expenses because they wanted to live for nothing. Which brings us on to what actually where the Sussex...
And this is the heart of Meghan Markle's problem, the growing pile of contradictions. One or two slip-ups, fine. People can forgive that. But when it becomes a pattern, when the list just keeps growing, it stops looking like mistakes. It starts looking like a habit, and Tom Bauer is merciless in pointing this out.
Meghan's silence is really odd. She's building up to something big. And there's no doubt that in LA over the last few weeks...
Think back again to that Oprah tell-all. Meghan told the world with wide eyes and trembling voice that she never even Googled Harry before meeting him. Sweet, right? A fairy tale blind date. Except, receipts exist. Photos surfaced of Meghan flaunting Princess Diana-inspired jewelry and even gushing about the royal family years before she supposedly had no clue. Come on, it doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to connect those dots. The innocence she projected? Totally staged.
Mail on Sunday broke big time this weekend. Now, what's really interesting is, of course, Bill Simmons not...
And then came the next whopper. Meghan claims she knew absolutely nothing about royal life, that she walked in blind, completely unprepared for royal protocol. Cute story. But the truth? Meghan was already mingling with friends who had deep ties to the royals. She wasn't stumbling into Buckingham Palace clueless. She knew exactly what she was signing up for, and critics say this wasn't naivety. It was narrative building, a script.
Branding of the Sussexes is what I also heard very recently is that Meghan decided...
And that's Bauer's sharpest dagger. Meghan has tried to wear too many masks at once. Victim, rebel, feminist icon, misunderstood duchess, protective mother, and you know what? It's exhausting. Worse, it looks fake. Instead of layering her image, she's confused people. Instead of inspiring trust, she's raised eyebrows. When someone constantly shifts characters, the audience stops believing the play.
In her passion. That has also been Harry's passion. And Meghan went to the extent of suggesting that they should drop the name Windsor and take the surname Spencer.
And here's the biggest danger. Once the public starts to feel lied to, even the truth sounds suspicious. Meghan's image is no longer credibility, it's skepticism. People don't ask, is it true anymore? They ask, what's the angle? That's where she's stuck now. Everything, from those glossy photo shoots to those carefully staged hand-holding moments, looks like spin. And whispers about Meghan and Harry's marriage? They're growing louder too. On the surface, they project unity. Netflix cameras capture them strolling, smiling, holding hands. But insiders whisper it's not all sunshine behind closed doors. Some even hint Harry has toyed with the idea of reclaiming his mother's name, becoming Harry Spencer instead of Harry Windsor. Can you imagine the royal fallout if that ever happened? Devastating. This feud between Meghan and the royal family, it's like a ghost that refuses to die. Oceans separate them, yet the tension lingers. Smoke after a fire. Every move Meghan makes, an interview, a podcast, even a cryptic quote, gets dissected as a jab at the firm. The palace sticks to its never complain, never explain motto. But silence doesn't mean forgiveness. Behind those gilded gates, resentment runs deep. Senior royals see Meghan as the woman who turned Harry against his own blood. Meghan, of course, insists she was the outsider who was never truly welcomed. And Harry? Oh, poor Harry is caught in the middle. torn between loyalty to his wife and longing for the family he abandoned. When he speaks, it's often raw, emotional, but critics whisper, are these his true feelings, or is he fanning flames that keep him and Meghan in the spotlight? What makes it worse is the timing. Every royal milestone, Charles's coronation, William and Kate's appearances, seems hijacked by some Sussex revelation. Every time the Windsors try to shine, Meghan and Harry step back into the spotlight with their own headlines. And people have noticed, but instead of helping, it's backfired. What they thought would win sympathy has turned into entertainment for the world and a nightmare for the monarchy. Will there ever be reconciliation? Or is this grudge destined to be passed down like a cursed heirloom? Meanwhile, Harry himself looks lonelier than ever. Gone are the cheeky days in Las Vegas or the soldier-turned-royal heartthrob the public adored. Now, he's tense, isolated, and increasingly a shadow of the man he once was. Whispers in royal circles are brutal. By cutting ties with his family, Harry has left himself with no one to fall back on. Sure, he has Meghan, but critics argue Meghan thrives on her own, launching projects, dropping interviews, building her brand, while Harry seems stuck in a cycle of lawsuits, grievances, and endless memoirs. His old military friends, silent, his bond with William, shattered. His relationship with Charles, stiff and distant. Even the public is split. Some pity him, others roll their eyes at the constant complaints. And the corporate world? Brands like Dior don't want their image tied to controversy. Once a golden prince, Harry now risks becoming toxic, and Hollywood hasn't exactly embraced him. In the early days, the Sussex frenzy had A-list invites pouring in, but slowly, those invitations have dried up. Harry is realizing something painful. Fame in California isn't the same as royal duty in Britain. Out there, relevance is fleeting. And the saddest part? His isolation feels self-inflicted. In chasing freedom, he may have built himself a gilded cage, pretty on the outside, empty on the inside. While Harry looks lost, Meghan looks like she's strategizing. Carefully, shrewdly. She's playing the long game. While Harry drowns in lawsuits, Meghan is plotting her empire. Hollywood, podcasts, acting. She's positioning herself as a brand in her own right. Reinvention is her game, and if there's one thing Hollywood respects, it's a woman who knows how to repackage herself. Yes, critics slam her as cold, calculating, opportunistic. They say she's leveraging her royal title to climb Hollywood's ladder. But Meghan, she doesn't flinch. She keeps her eyes on the prize. She's building a reputation that stretches beyond Windsor drama. And while Harry flails, Meghan rises. The painful truth? Harry looks like the supporting act in the Sussex show. Meghan is the headliner. Meghan is the brand. And in Hollywood, everyone knows. Either you shine or you fade fast. Meanwhile, across the pond, William is mastering the art of silence. He doesn't need explosive interviews. He doesn't need to scream or sue. He lets his actions speak. Ribbon cuttings, handshakes, carefully chosen causes, all painting him as the reliable heir. While Meghan and Harry fight with words, William builds with silence. And make no mistake, behind palace walls, his influence is growing. So Meghan may run from the palace, but she can outrun her past. And if Tom Bower has more revelations tucked away, the Duchess hasn't even seen the worst of it yet.